Hi guys, I'm here with your Bible reading. Hi Sandy, hi Rosie. Sandy, thanks for talking to me last night and giving me all the info on what I asked you about. I really enjoyed talking to you last night. I've got a cough drop in my mouth in case anybody wonders. I got a sore throat still. Okay. Let's begin where we left off yesterday with Matthew chapter 7. We'll be reading verse 15 through verse 29. We're first talking about true and false prophets. Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. By their fruit you will recognize them. That means by their actions, what they do. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? Likewise, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. That means if they are really good and if they are really holy, they will do good things. And if they are really wolves in sheep's clothing, just pretending to be good, they will do bad things. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, but a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus, by their fruit, you will recognize them. True and false disciples. That's what we're going to talk about now. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform many miracles? Then I will tell them plainly, I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers. That's why I try to tell you guys about the people who don't believe. Then they get to heaven and they're like, Lord, Lord, because they see that God and Jesus is real. And then Jesus will be, just like he said, get away from me. I never knew you. It'll be too late for them to be saved then. The wise and foolish builders is where we're going to end Matthew today. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. When Jesus had finished saying these things, the crowds were amazed at his teaching, but he thought as one who had authority and not as their teachers of the law. And that's how Jesus taught. As one who has authority and not as a teacher of the law as they did. And that's where we're stopping with Matthew today. And our psalm today is Psalm 9. And we'll be reading verses 1 through verse 12. For the director of music to the tune of The Death of the Son, a Song of David. I will give thanks to you, Lord, with all my heart. I will tell of all your wonderful deeds. I will be glad and rejoice in you. I will sing the praises of your name, O Most High. My enemies turn back. They stumble and perish before you. For you have upheld my right, my cause, sitting enthroned. A stronghold in times of trouble. Those who know your name trust in you. For you, Lord, have never forsaken those who seek you. Sing the praises of the Lord enthroned in Zion. Proclaim among the nations what he has done. For he who avenges blood remembers. He does not ignore the cries of the afflicted. And that was our psalm for today. Psalm 9, verses 1 through 12. Okay. We are ending today's Bible reading with Proverbs chapter 2, reading verses 16 through 22. Wisdom will save you also from the adulterous woman, from the wayward woman with her seductive words, who has left the partner of her youth, and ignored the covenant she made before God. Surely her house leads down to death, and her paths to the spirits of the dead. None who go to her return or attain the path of life. Thus you will walk in the ways of the good, and keep to the paths of the righteous. For the upright will live in the land, and the blameless will remain in it. But the wicked will be cut off from the land, and the unfaithful will be torn from it. And that was our Bible reading for today. I hope you guys are having a good weekend so far. Let's bring those souls to Jesus, and God willing, I'll see you guys all again tomorrow with another Bible reading. Bye guys. God bless.